Okay. Hello, hello, good afternoon. Whatever time zone's applicable to you out there. I'm asking for your input today on what to do with this thing at work. I'm at work right now, I swear to God. I'm dressed down, but only because I work from home, remotely, as they say. So, excuse me, I'm trying to figure it out right now. I'm trying to better comprehend, understand why there's this one benefit. To put in the context but not reveal too much, I work in health insurance. I'm trying to understand why every time this comes up as an issue, people obsess, people linger over what's it called again? Fitness reimbursement request. There we go. So you're an actively, hopefully healthy enough member where you don't have to file claims or nothing or see the doctor like that. Paid or unpaid insurance. Well, these are for the paid members, obviously. So they get to submit every 6 months a request to be reimbursed for their gym memberships and such. However, not only so there's two sides of this whole thing. There's a side of the plan, which again I won't reveal who I work for, obviously, but I work in healthcare. The plan, I wouldn't say obsession, but more like fanatical like behavior, just obsession with making that part as impossible as possible to get approved and or simply reimbursed, because at least our company, I think the max that they dish out for fitness reimbursements is $200 for every 6 months. Yeah, it's 200 per member every 6 months. Now, if it's a family account, more than one member on file, obviously, then they get up to it's 200 individual, 400 every 6 months, I believe. But to get a hold of those said 200, those fabled 200 almost, as best as I could put it, you got to go through documentation. You got to go through, documentation obviously to prove that, you're able to substantiate how many visits within the minimum amount of time allowed every 6 months to validate that, you went to the gym all these times, 50, up to that many visits within 6 months. Is it 50? Wait a minute. Oh God, I gotta read through the paperwork because I know I'm almost certain it's 50 visits every 6 months up to, or was it every 6 months up to 50 visits in total? But if you go over 50, no, we're not reimbursing you per visit. We're reimbursing for the span of 6 months. Why do I keep referring back to 50? I might be confusing myself. I don't know. What the fuck's going on in the comments? 6'7", 6'7". No, that's not me. I'm too old for that shit. Please don't make me start with that. I don't hate it. I just don't get it till now. I don't know the origin of 6'7" at all. But I guess it's in the comment a couple times. 6'7", if that helps. I'm old enough to know 6'7". It's not 67. I know that. And I'm not 67 either. I'm far from that age. Thank God. Hello to Dejan-Z1W. Hello. You got a hand emoji, I'll throw one right back at you. A real life one. Hello. Hand right back at you. So I'm trying to better understand because, again, on the plan end, the health insurance end, you got the paperwork, the stack of papers that you need to submit to file for the request for fitness reimbursement, right? You go to gym, you're a healthy member. Hopefully, you don't have too many claims on files with us that we had to pretty much pay for up to a certain amount, and then you got to chip in on your own end for your own health. But the paperwork accumulates, the requirements to meet, which I've just confused myself over the requirements needed. So I got to read through that better. But basically, on the plan end, it's a lot that the plan requests from the member to submit proof of how many visits. You got to get like something signed off from somebody on staff at the gym. You got to confirm that it's an actual if not national, like a gym, as in some place you gotta go that has weights that you don't have access to at home. That's not like a private, instructor and or trainer, an actual facility that they can sign off on, a manager can validate, et cetera, that kind of thing. And what else? What was the other part? Proof of payment. That's always a shady kind of gray area because you never know. They do make it clear, but then also they're so like, what's the word I'm looking for on the plan end? They're very, they're sticklers for what they deem as credible enough proof of payment towards the gym. And it has to be a recurring amount. As you know, if you join the gym, you got that, sometimes you got the initial sign-on fee, you got the annual fee. So it's not always like every month it's going to cost like $24.99. It might come in differently. There's taxes involved. Well, why did 1 month cost this much? 1 month only cost that much. There's that going on too. It's a lot on the plan end. Not so much as make you feel like you're wasting your time, but more like I get it, but then I also don't get why so many steps and so many loops and hurdles to actually get it approved. But now on the member end, maybe I'm off on this one. Not being too considerate to everybody else's financial situation. I'm not rich. I'm not putting that out there. Nor am I saying that. But it's more like $200 ain't necessarily life changing, but an extra 200 that doesn't come directly from your pocket, that goes into your account or that you have at your disposal, especially nowadays, I get it. It's a total help. It's a mood enhancement, a mood booster. I'd love an extra $200 like this randomly. I would. I'd struggle to think who wouldn't benefit from like an extra 200 just out of nowhere. Or okay, you have to submit this stuff. You got to wait a little bit, sit on it, and everything, and then you'll get 200 sent your way for cooperating, for participating, for an added benefit. But you have to do all these things, check off all these boxes to get 200. This one particular case now I'm working is where the member obviously wants that reimbursed, their fitness reimbursement request fulfilled. But it's been denied. And it not only was it denied because of missing documentation, as in the plan insists that they didn't submit everything needed, but also the member was apparently misinformed as far as the deadline they had up until when to submit said paperwork. And they even admitted themselves when I had to listen back to a call to like substantiate whether the complaint is valid or not. Oh, I messed up somewhere on the paperwork, so I need to know when I can resubmit again, kind of thing. Da 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 da. Steve underscore Harrington dash G1R. Hello, or what up, gang? Talking about trying to better understand why this one member I'm working a grievance for the health insurance plan I work for, is so animate and so hung up on getting reimbursed the $200 that they want back as part of their fitness reimbursement. They're like obsessed. And they may or may not have been, because I don't know the finite details. I'm going based off of what that department that's assigned to review that is actually confirming or denying whether they did or didn't meet the requirements. But also there's the basis of they might have been misinformed as far as when they have up until to submit said request. So there's that, just kind of briefly recapping. Well, thank you for asking. And sorry if I got to that too late, but I just I didn't want to lose my place as far as my train of thought. But this guy's obsessing over it, admitting that he may have messed up his paperwork. He may have submitted the wrong info, or I think he said something about the wrong signature in the wrong place, basically. Misinformed about the deadline to submit, but this guy's been calling every single day. Not to me directly, because at least in my department, I don't got to take calls. And I wouldn't handle that over the phone. But it's more like obsessed, maniacally almost, with getting reimbursed $200 only, which it looks like based on the amount he paid towards his membership for the fitness place he went to, he might have paid for way more than 200, but we only pay you up to $200. If it's by any chance less than that, then we're not going to pay you 200 because you remember, we're going to pay you up to the amount of $200. But I it's not that I don't know what to do to handle this case, but it's more like, is this man hung up on the principle of not being reimbursed or having his request denied because he was misinformed? Or is he really in need of $200? Because, not to make it about race and or stereotypes, but if you get my hint, based off the last name alone, I know that they're the type of people that would worry about even the dingiest, non-shiny ass looking penny. Let me leave it at that, because then YouTube might flag me for saying so. I miss the old days where you could talk freely about that shit and I can make that little joke, but hopefully you know what I mean. But I don't think it's that. But I also don't know why he's like hung up on just that shit being reimbursed like that. If you feel like it, if you got something to chime in with or to help me make sense of what's going on, please. This is my first live on YouTube, at least vertical phone format style, going live. Please feel free to leave it in the comments, chime in, let me know. It's all good. I appreciate it, good or bad. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't give a shit, honestly. I'm just out here I'm putting it out there to see if maybe from out there I get it sent back to me in sense of making it make sense. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm saying. Appreciate you all. Thank you for the time. I'm off this bitch. Maybe I'll be back on tomorrow. Who knows? And or if you don't already follow and or sub to the channel, please. I have a lot more content besides live right now. A lot of shorts, a lot of podcast episodes for the two podcasts I do. AhhFuGGiT, which is just random shit, and or Who Just Been Watching, which is my movie review podcast. I got a couple episodes I'm gonna be throwing up between today, tomorrow, and over the weekend. I appreciate the sub, like, comment, feedback, negative, positive, whatever it is. Let me know what you think, what you got in mind, and I'll catch you next time.